Well, look who's looking very smart today in your little red outfit. What are you up to today, Pete?
I'm so excited, Kat, because we have Aaron Walker coming from Little Kickers.
What's Little Kickers? I don't want to be kicked.
Arr, you won't be kicked. These people teach kids from an early age to participate in sport. Come on, I'll show you.
Okay, let's go.
Hello, I'm Pollyanna Forshaw and we're continuing our wonderful series. Because we can't have Central Coast Kids Day Out, we're talking to organisations that work with preschoolers. Here's the latest interview. I've got Aaron Walker here, who is the director of Little Kickers on the Central Coast, one of his valuable coaches, Jordan, and a parent, Susie.
Aaron, tell us about how you began it. Why?
I didn't personally begin it. They sort of became overseas as a franchise in the UK, but I brought it back over, I think sort of 10 years ago. It was 10 years on the coast. I took over as owner 2 years ago, so pretty exciting. I've been working in the business for 8 years coaching, so it's coming 8 years this year. So.
And why do you think it's important that children, preschool children particularly, have these sorts of activities?
I think we just have to, as a family and community, have to expose kids to this sort of stuff, like sporting wise, and keeping them active into that, as well as like getting them to like interact with other kids and families, and sort of building that community, so a sense of with like the other families bouncing ideas off and things like that. The classes are great that way. So.
Wonderful. And why did you start with very little people?
I think 18 months is the sort of perfect age. They sort of start to explore and the imagination side of things come out. It's really interesting to see, but I think that's the best age to start. Any younger, you can't really start because it's growing. The thing is, my favorite class is 18-month-olds because it's so raw and they're learning through imagination and stuff. And you see them growing every sort of week, which is amazing. Yeah.
Jordan, you're one of the coaches.
Yeah.
Tell me what skills you think they're also learning apart from imagination.
Well, I think the best thing about kickers, one of the best things about kickers, has been understanding how much sort of emphasis is on non-football skills football skills done through non-footballing games. So that they don't know that they're learning to score goals when they're learning to score goals. They think that they're learning to kick a monkey or something, they're doing something silly. And then from that, they're learning these skills. So it's kind of like Aaron always says, like hiding the vegetables in the cheese or something, it's like giving them the essential skills, but they think that they're just having fun, which is kind of the most fun part for us as well, coaching them.
Now, I know you had to shut down for 3 months when COVID hit us. Susie, you're a parent. What happened to you in that time and what was put in place that worked?
Well, having my boys home from daycare, it completely changed the game. So I own businesses and I have my kids home. So we would sit down scrolling, waiting for the video to come up, and they would have their kickers gear on and be ready to go. And
what video are you talking about, can I ask?
So the coaches and Aaron recorded their little kickers up at home videos, and they did their sessions and had really great activities that I looked forward to because I had some inspiration for what to do, because you can only paint so much, do so much Play-Doh, and it was really great to have some extra inspiration.
So obviously it worked really well for you. Is that the reason you began it? What was your initiation?
The first thing I said to Jordan before, when COVID started, struck into all of us and our families and our lives, it was just we have to bring something to the community and sort of help out and support them. So these families stuck at home, like Susie was saying, and they just didn't have any support network. So I was the best thing is let's just bring our fun brand, which we had fun filming the episodes into their homes, which it worked great. But then in the long term, obviously they've come back to our classes and active classes, which helped our business. But the main thing was just to build that community, which I really wanted to do when I took over the business, is build a big community. We've got so many kids around the coast, we've touched so many thousands of families sort of things, and now I wanted to bring that community really together, and COVID did that in a way. We could go in their house, do these fun videos and still have fun with the kids, which we enjoyed, which I know the kids enjoyed it. We enjoyed making them.
As a grandparent, I noticed there were a lot of other grandparents who used to bring their preschool grandchildren. You're a parent, so did you find that this also reinforced what you were doing as a parent with your grandchildren? Did you play more?
Yeah, I just love Little Kickers because it takes what we do at home and it brings it into this fun play learning environment. So, when we talk about teamwork at home, it doesn't really make sense, but when they are in their like football games and they're learning, they have to wait patiently, and it really reinforces what I do at home with my kids.
It's great talking to a parent. Like, talking to you about it is awesome because we don't get to see the home stuff. We just do the stuff in the session. So when we hear about parents going home and they're like, they're cooperating with their siblings or they're sitting and listening, that's really good. And even in sessions, like, parents will talk about how great it is that we tell them to sit down and wait for their turn. Like, we feel like we're being mean, but parents always come up and go, they never do this. And it's like, well,
That
okay.
also impressed me about the patience that the coaches had and how the children did listen to them. You would just wait patiently until they answered. Do you have any specific examples of how participation, we're talking generally, but specifically, that did you see any changes in development of some of your little kickers?
Yeah, well, the amazing thing about consistently coaching the same classes is you get to pick up kids when they're like from as young as 18 months and see them grow up. So much growing happens between 18 months and 3, and then again from 3 to 5 or whatever. So every week that kids come when they're in those early ages, they change completely. And the best thing is seeing like a kid that doesn't want to get involved at all when they first start. Obviously, we'd love them to get involved when they first start, but often it takes them 2 or 3 weeks, and then by the end of the month, they're a brand new kid. We had a kid, I just thought of this one, a kid called Lacey, who's the sister of Ryan, who's been coming forever, who's in one of our oldest age groups, who always sat on the sidelines, was into like dolls and all like sort of girly stuff and never kicked a ball in her life. And then at one of the Saturday morning sessions just stood up and went out and started kicking a ball. And then her parents kind of just were staring at her going, she's never done this before. Can she join in like while they're doing the session? I was like, yeah, that's fine, come on in. And then she signed up the following week, and now she loves it, and it's just from
it's great.
no interest in football whatsoever to suddenly she's running around interacting with kids, and it's amazing.
And you also then allowed the development of rugby. Now, Little Kickers is to do with what?
Soccer basically, yeah. And then we've got the rugby classes for a similar age group. Probably they start at 2.5 though, so a bit older. But yeah, similar things like Jordan was saying, like we're teaching rugby and kickers soccer. But we guess like role models to the kids really. So I always say to the coaches, we guess role models to these young sort of minds that are growing. We guess teaching not only a sport and like getting them active, but like other things like
I think you're also role models though for the adults, because now you do demonstrate such a great deal of care of their little egos and a great deal of care of their discipline. And so they're learning a lot of values and patience from your patience with them. It's fabulous. I can't speak too highly of it myself. So we've heard some specific examples. What about your own children? You said they dressed up for the time.
Yes. Examples during COVID or just during the
No, just with this particular activity that they were doing.
Yeah, they just love practicing. Like my son loves kicking the ball with my husband, and I found it's really helped them connect more. My husband commutes, so he isn't home during the day. So when I'm taking them to kickers and doing stuff with them, it's been a great connection activity.
So it really enhanced, as you were saying, the family values that you were talking about before. So let's just finish up with what is a message that each of you would like parents out there to know?
Basically just with the classes, keep that community together. Like, let's not break up and just stay at home and just sort of live our lives in closed doors. Let's just make sure there's
it an action community.
Yeah, to support network with kickers and rugby. We're there to help you. And that's what the business is all about. We're not really there just to say, come to class in 45 minutes. We're there as a community with so many families growing up and doing the same thing. Let's just sort of evoke that sort of our ideas and values that we need to,
We do.
Yeah.
Jordan?
Yeah, similar. I mean, like, this is a business that it's very easy to think of a business like this as a big sort of blanket corporation type thing, but really it's as, working in his house with me, sitting there sometimes on the phones and just sort of having a good time, and then we go out and coach ourselves. So it's very personal for us, and we do it because we love doing it. I think COVID showed that to us the most, when we didn't really have to be doing it anymore, and all the coaches sort of stepped up and went, no, we want to do it because we really enjoy being with the kids and making a little bit of a difference. So that's what it's all about.
And Susie?
I really love seeing the coaches like interacting with my boys. It's so nice to be able to have that support and know that like their relationship grows together. They'll come in the beginning they're a bit shy, now they're high-fiving and they're building solid relationships and making friends, which is so nice. You know, my eldest has made little friends in the sessions.
And how old is your eldest?
He's almost 5.
And your little?
He is 2.
2.
So
yes, my grandson was 2 as well.
Yes, yeah, the 2-year-old is a little bit different to the 5-year-old.
most definitely.
Yeah, it's great to see them making those little friendships.
And we keep talking about your sons, but you did give us an example of a girl joining in. So this is really across the board.
Yeah, definitely.
Boys, girls.
Yeah, the girls
Everyone.
have come out. Like there's been so many daughters and sisters.
They love
come out. Yeah, it's a majority of, like, some classes are full of girls. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's with the women's codes having risen.
Yeah.
And we've got girl coaches too. We've got Coach Claire and Coach Annalise, and they do a great job.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how do people connect with Little Kickers if they want to join?
I think the easiest way is really just go on our social pages at Little Kickers Central Coast.
Little Kickers Central Coast. Now that's Facebook?
Facebook and Instagram, yeah.
And Instagram. Now, for an oldie like me who doesn't particularly want to do social media, how would I find out
I
about
can go on email, centralcoast@littlekickers.com.au.
Can you say that one again?
centralcoast@littlekickers.com.au.
At littlekickers.com.au.
Yeah.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank you so very much
That's
for
right.
coming.
Thanks for
today.
having
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
It's great.
Absolute joy.
We've been just talking to Aaron Walker, Director of Little Kickers Central Coast, one of his very valued coaches, Jordan, and a parent who does value what is offered. Susie is the parent, and as she pointed out, how wonderful it is for the little ones to be able to be involved in sport and in community. If you want to watch those videos that Aaron and Jordan have made, get onto their Instagram page or their Facebook page. But better still, next year when we can all get together, you can come to Central Coast Kids Day Out and meet them in person.